now we wait for the haka. This will get them going even a little more as we count down to kick off. It will be Ruben Wiki up front. No Stephen Kearney anymore in the New Zealand side. Still one of the great moments. The Australians, they eyed them off as Ruben Wiki led the cry.
Never tire of hearing the haka or seeing it. And very important for both of these sides in the Tri Nations setup, the round robin system, to get away to a good start, especially the home team. They have three world-class players in Matt Utai, Joe Nullavow and Tony Puletua playing their first and only game in this series. They're having operations. So they are at fullest strength tonight. Those Australians, led by that man, Darren Lockyer, prepare for battle.
Russell Smith referee. First match of 7 in the Tri Nations series. We are underway. And Lockyer passes back, and the reception of the Kiwis is big. It is very big on Webke. Led in by the two front rowers, Kalis and Wiki. Carroll gets his first touch. And driven sideways in the tackle of Puletua. The Australians on their 20. And it's an early assault from the New Zealand side in this first set. Matt Singh got his first touch. And followed up now by Riles. He is hit hard front on. Sonny Bill Williams and Anderson there. The 30-metre line. First set of the test. Willie Mason, he cops the treatment. Count them. 4 jumpers in there in the black of New Zealand. And that is the last tackle. And back for Gower to kick under pressure from Vinnie Anderson. He has picked out Utai. And that's a wonderful first set of 6 from New Zealand. Made even better there by Utai. Carries them inside the Kangaroos half. This is Fatawira. Put down 40 metres out from the Australian line. Now Wiki with his first carry. Mason there and some oomph in the tackle from the Kangaroos this time. Hindmarsh. There with Webke 40 metres away. New Zealand in possession. And Louis Anderson with a little dart for 5. Dummy half is Vangana. Back to centre field with Lillawai and on for Webb. Then Puletua. Running wide and finding Sean Berrigan. This is the 5th tackle for New Zealand. The kick comes from Lillawai. Looked deep off the boot. Under it, then slipping was Minicello. He's taken it flat on his back.
Remarkable take there from Anthony Minicello. Didn't have a great game against the Kiwis in Newcastle. But to take this on his back was quite incredible.
And now Willie Tonga with his first touch of the football at this level. What a year he has had. Grand final and now overseas tour. Mason. First metres really made by an Australian forward over the 30. Lockyer. Little short side play here for Carroll. Lillawai's the defender with Williams. And again, it is the last tackle in Australia in their own territory. Gower's kick is low. Will be fielded on the bounce by Brent Webb. Born and bred in Cairns. Finds himself on debut in a New Zealand jumper. Francis Melly. Happy that they thought the marker. Berrigan was offside. He makes a 3rd tackle. New Zealand back to the 40. And able to push on again with Webb. And then inside for Nullavow. Running headlong there into Jason Riles. The weather forecast was ordinary this morning. And that's how it unfolded through the day. Just after 5 o'clock local time here. If anything, the wind may have died just a shade on what it was earlier this afternoon. Here is Anderson. Trying to fend away from Baderis. It was the last tackle and a changeover.
Give him the ball. And that does shape as a problem for New Zealand. Louis Anderson at dummy half, not normally a hooker are playing that role. Strong defensive game from the Kiwis. Anderson needs to be very good out of dummy half for his team to function.
Riles is hit by Kalis, and the ball comes loose, and New Zealand are in possession. So physical to start the game. Kiwis, 35 metres out from the line. Here's Vinnie Anderson, running a path straight across field. Big shot on Riles. Luluwai with Wiki. The early points are with the Kiwis, if not on the board as yet. Anderson dummy half. And Luluwai forced to run as Gower had crept up on his outside in defence. And he will play it 29 metres out for Jason Kales. Very strong start to the game from the Roosters front rower. Now 21 metres away. Anderson, it was a slow play the ball for Webb. Showing the ball to Pulatua. Finds Fatawira. Stripped there by Lockyer. Play on the call. And New Zealand come up with it. Pulatua plays it 10 metres out. Tackle count restarts. Big pressure on the green and gold men. 5 metres from the line. Back and deep for Luluwai. The wrap around there with Wiki. Luluwai got through the tackle of Hindmarsh. Stands and offloads for Webb. Here's Anderson. That is Vinnie Anderson for the line. He's over. Anderson has scored for New Zealand. First try on a ground where he scored 2 on debut last year. He hasn't waited too long to open the scoring here.
It's been a very bright start from New Zealand, as Andrew pointed out. So physical defensively and quite adventurous with the football. The Anderson brothers, they're a key for the home side this afternoon. They got 6 again through Darren Lockyer missing the intercept. It was cleaned up by Pulatua. And Thomas Luluwai did a great job here. The run around with Ruben Wiki, sliced through, kept alive, and then a nice cut-out pass from Brent Webb. Anderson had support on the outside. Luke Rooney not strong enough to hold him out. And that is points from early pressure.
It's always a good play early in the game. A little hit and spin from the front row forward. Finds Luluwai. He gets in between Mason and Hindmarsh. Now the second phase play comes out the back. And Anderson, controversial selection in the 5'8" role, but look at the size of him. He's able to burrow in under Minicello, get the ball down over the top of his own arm for first points in this test match. And I can tell you back there at home that this physical confrontation you've seen early has been planned by the Kiwis. They have narrowed this field to only 61 metres in width. It's supposed to be 68. Spoke to ARL Chief Executive Jeff Carr before the game. He was disappointed. The Australians did not know about it till they arrived. And the Kiwis are looking for a physical confrontation up front. We've seen that early in the match.
It's not quite the underarm incident, but they have bent the rules a little. And here is Webb from 4 and from touch. Just 1 goal this year. There's his second. He landed 1 from 3 in all of this season with the Warriors. And his first kick on the bill in a New Zealand jumper in breezy conditions has hit it as good as El Masri or Halligan locked again. And they're happy, the locals, at 6-0. Vinnie Anderson with a try. Brent Webb the goal.
So when you look at this New Zealand backline today, Francis Melly, Nigel Vungana, Paul Fatawira, Matt Utai, look at the size they've got there up against the likes of Sean Berrigan, Willie Tonga and Matt Singh. There's no doubt that they wanted a physical encounter here. They've narrowed the field. They're going to try and beat them on size and strength. A mistake from the kick-off reception.
Luluwai with a slide, Peter, and Utai was left in 2 minds as to what his halfback was trying to do.
Yeah, Thomas Luluwai gave his teammate no chance whatsoever, and it is always so important to come up with a good 6 after you've scored points yourself. He just walked out of that. Matt Utai, never an opportunity of grabbing that one late.
10 metres out, big chance to hit straight back. Minicello running at the try scorer Anderson, and held up 4 metres away from the line. Lockyer's in a dummy half. They got Tonga left, they come to the right. Gower has lost it, diving at full stretch. Russell Smith, referee, has a close look, says play on. And everyone happy with that decision. Riles runs straight again into Kalis and Wiki. The ambush in defence from the Kiwis continues. High ball here with Lockyer. Hindmarsh was the decoy. Minicello thought he had a hole to run to. And Vungana took him around the chest. Still 5 metres away. Rooney at dummy half for Lockyer. On with Gower. Floating ball. Utah chance of intercept. Taken there by Berrigan.
Sonny Bill Williams was hurt in a previous tackle. He's down on his haunches. Last tackle now against the Kangaroos goes to Gower.
They found Mason in a dummy half. The kick from Gower through the hands of Vangana over the dead ball line and line dropout.
We spoke about the width of the field. Have a look at the in goals here today too. It's the bare 6 metres as well. The international laws allows for up to 11 metres in the in goal, but the Kiwis again shortened the options here for the Australians. And whilst they've forced a line dropout on this occasion with a kick in behind by Gower, it was more the slippery conditions than the placement of the kick. Vangana couldn't get his hands on it, and a line dropout to the Kiwis.
With that line dropout, skidding bounce there for Lockyer, and Webke with a job of carrying the ball back. Pulatua gets physical this time with the Australian front rower. Medeiros back in field with Jason Riles. Riles has lost it for the second time in the game. And New Zealand are back in possession. It's a good sign. Sonny Bill Williams back in the play and offloading. He's not quite 100% at the moment, Sonny Bill. He's got himself back in the action. Now Nullavow almost to halfway. Riles was low on the tackle. Filthy on himself with a start. Here is Kalis. Hard metres. 8-6. Now inside the Australian half. Anderson with Luluwai. And then on for Wiki. Webke there low late in the season. That ankle injury for Ruben Wiki, which he has recovered fully from. Now Pulatua. Lockyer defending on the right side for the Australians. 30 metres away. Luluwai first receiver. Held up there for Webb, and then Sonny Bill took the ball and was collected around the neck by Nathan Hindmarsh and Gower. 31 away last tackle. Kick placed there by Webb. Minicello. He was off balance, but again he's done the job.
And Brett Webb is taking some pressure off his halves, Anderson and Luluwai, and needs to do so. I don't think that Daniel Anderson was looking for too much creativity from his halves, just to go the right way at the right time.
The Australians bring it out of that 10-metre zone, head-to-head. The Australians with an ever-increasing gap between matches won and the Kiwi successes. And earlier this year, it was way back in April. It does feel an awful long time ago.
Well, the ball has come flying out of that tackle. Not played out, the referee has ruled, so this is the last tackle. And Sean Berrigan scoots out of dummy half. He doesn't know.
Change over.
Boy, change over here. Here was the incident with Mason. Pulatua over the top. Russell Smith's ruling was fair enough, but Berrigan totally unaware. What an opportunity then for New Zealand. Full set. As you can see, inside that 30-metre zone, Kangaroos end of the field. Luluwai. Deep there with Webb. Inside pass, set play for Vangana. Wrapped up by Hindmarsh. Now 25 away. And Anderson. It was almost a forward pass working the blind side. They've called it that way. And again, I think Russell Smith is 100% right. The man from Castleford.
And it's a very simple pattern of play here the Kiwis are employing. Peter Sterling said he won't be looking for too much direction from the halves. The direction has been decided before the game. Just keep the play going the same way. That one a forward pass down the short side, but the Kiwis know where each play the ball's going to go. As soon as they hit it up, they keep the ball going the same way. That time they're prepared to even go down a very narrow short side.
So from the scrum, young Luke Rooney. He is almost back to the 30. Grand final hero from last year with these 2 tries for the Panthers. Webke shoulders into Anderson. He's plenty game, the young hooker, and he gets the assist. The drive of Pulatua there. The front row of Australia not making too many dents in this New Zealand defence early. That time Mason was back slammed. Riles, he was stumbling as he got the ball, offloaded back for Medeiros. They're under pressure. Gower, quick hands away with Minicello. Down the left they go with Tonga. Here is Rooney. He's over halfway, Rooney. He's got support. He got past Webb. He'll go all the way. Williams from behind. Rooney sprints away to score. And he's test to move. The Panthers Junior has come up with a sizzling try.
I'm not sure whether we'll see too many long-range efforts in these kind of conditions, but that's a great hit back from the Australian team, who created an overlap under a lot of pressure. The defence got up and in on them, but they were able to keep the football alive. And Luke Rooney, he was well covered here. Some very poor defence. Sonny Bill Williams didn't have the speed to match it with Luke Rooney, but the tackle should have been made pretty much as soon as he caught the football. Man coming across from the inside now from the Kiwis is the important miss there.
Yeah, when you're scrambling in defence, every defender picks up a potential support player, and everyone's got to make their tackle. If one man misses, well, everyone's going to be let down there. And the one missed tackle has allowed Rooney some free space, and he scurried his way to the try line. The overlap was created by the Kiwis. The Kangaroos were under pressure. They had to get it to the outside just to make ground. The Kiwis made the error in defence.
Kicker, ball off the kicking tee.
And it was a shame that it was Vinnie Anderson who missed that tackle, because defensively he's been great in the opening minutes of this game. New Zealand know that if they give this team an opportunity, the Green and Goals will take advantage, as we've just seen.
And Lockyer squares it up at 6-all. And Rooney, who's made the progression from first-grade star through Origin this year, and the side coached by Phil Gould, and now into the test side.
It's good work. You see Tonga, he'll just turn him back on the inside. Vinnie Anderson will come along. Now all the Kiwi players are hanging back. Webb had Minicello. Sonny Bill Williams had another support player. All of a sudden Vinnie Anderson comes up with the miss, and Rooney's into the backfield, into open space. But it sets up the classic encounter here today. Size and strength up against speed and skill. This young, small back line from the Australians with plenty of speed, plenty of passing ability up against these giants from the Kiwi land.
Two to those viewers in Junee. Watched in both hemispheres this match. Great Britain await their first appearance in a fortnight's time. They will take on the Aussies in Manchester. Here is Mason. 3 again in the tackle. First man in was Nullavow with Anderson and Pulatua. Now to dummy half goes Matt Singh. Great form late in the year for the Cowboys, coming back from a broken jaw. 30 metres away from their own line. Lockyer's going to kick from the 30. He's got good distance on the kick. Webb running back does well. Takes it over his shoulder on the 20. And in these breezy conditions, that was very well done. 25 away from their line. Nice pick up 2 out of dummy half from Utah. Medeiros is there waiting with Berrigan. It seems as if every time Berrigan gets in the marker, the crowd unhappy with him not standing square. Carroll moves up with a tackle that time on Melly. And they work forward with Fatawira. Down for the West Tigers next year. Just short of halfway, the Kiwis. Now over halfway with Kalis. You'd say he's been the best front row out there early in this match. Luluwai with a kick that he's placed for Rooney's wing. And Rooney back to the in goal. It pulls up nicely. Rooney confronted by the chasers. First in there was his Panthers teammate Joe Nullavow. Tonga had a dummy half. And he's turned over in the tackle of Nullavow and Anderson. 6-all. 11 metres out from their line. Gower and with Mason. Watching the Tri Nations on the Wide World of Sports here on Channel 9. This is game 1, and Gower's pass finding just a brick wall of defence on Tony Carroll. This time, Riles again is hit front on by Pulatua. Back slammed and then face massage for his troubles.
He pulled out on the ball and pushed it away.
It's a penalty to the Kangaroos.
And it will be one gratefully accepted. Tony Pulatua, another big shot on Jason Riles. Got a target on him this afternoon, Jason. And the referee has ruled that the ball was pushed out by Tony Pulatua, as it was. But it was pretty poor ball security as well, as Shane Redkin takes it inside the 30.
Bounces away from Kidwell. 25 metres from the line, 6-all. In this first match of the Tri Nations, Mason. There has been no less than 3 defenders every time Mason has carried the football so far. Medeiros, Gower, and along for Lockyer. Again, Hindmarsh, the decoy, beautifully worked. Minicello with the ball, he goes over. They ended up with 3-on-1. It's lovely league from the Kangaroos, their second try, and they're in front by 4.
Really starting to find a little bit of rhythm now at the football, the Kangaroos, and that was beautifully executed. Plenty of decoy runners, the second man passing, committing defenders. A big line to the left. There's the first decoy runner, another going through in the form of Nathan Hindmarsh. That forces the New Zealand outside defenders to come in, but they weren't able to arrive in time to make the tackle. Hindmarsh coming back at a good angle here. We'll see him off Darren Lockyer come into shot. Going through there, attracting in Nigel Vunganar. And Francis Melly forced to go for the intercept with Minicello numbers outside.
Francis Melly caught in no man's land there, in two minds whether to come up with his centre partner. Had he done that, he could have put some pressure on Minicello. Good work from him. Didn't panic when he had options available on the outside. Through the dummy, went himself. Very good football from the Kangaroos.
Lockyer has his second kick. 20 out, 10 in from touch. Lockyer likes it. It's 12-6 here at North Harbour Stadium. Channel 9 in the first Tri Nations game.
And in the test match at Newcastle earlier this year, the combination in the halves of Gower and Lockyer took a long while in that game to warm up. But you can see here the width that Gower is now giving Lockyer, and with good decoy runners on the outside, plenty of support there for Minicello. They had numbers over. And there's no doubt here in narrowing the field here today, the Kiwis have thought if we race up quickly, we'll try and force some errors. Both those tries have been caused because the Kiwis made bad decisions in defence.
Ruth and Wiki has been interchanged, and this is a big 5 or 10 minutes coming up for the Kiwis. They've expended a lot of energy early in this game. They got the early lead, find themselves behind. They have to react very positively to this situation because they are not coming up with the same kind of impetus as they did early.
Harris had a dummy half and able to make 7 metres. Ground that wasn't able to be made early. Gower with a pickup. They look very slick around dummy half all of a sudden. Mason, he makes a little more ground this time. In a matter of 4 tackles, they're up to halfway. Riles follows up. He'll make another 10. He'll make 15. He'll make 20. Do I hear 25? He's tackled 30 metres away from the line. Madeira's a dummy half. Last tackle, Lockyer. His kick has got Webb. A little bit of urgency back to the in-goal. Difficult bounce. Webb has taken low. Webb has hemmed in goal. That is a perfect set of 6.
And the poor sign there for New Zealand was the lack of urgency in any teammate for Brent Webb to get back and help out. The kick went through from Darren Lockyer. Everybody else but Brent Webb and the far winger stopped and looked, hoping that Webb would come up with the right play.
That's the ultimate set of 6, isn't it? You catch a kick-off after scoring a try. In 5 rucks, you get up to the opposition 30, and then a perfectly placed kick from the skipper into the in-goal. Says, give me the ball back, we're ready to come again. Kiwis looking very tired behind the line, delaying the restart.
You can see Pulatua now to the bench. Azatazi on debut. One of the Bulldogs' grand final stars is out there. Webke from the line dropout. He too is making more ground. He's to the 20. 12 points to 6. Madeira's dummy half. This time working the right side. That is Mason's domain. Tackled by Fanawira. Back to centre field with Gower 20 metres out. Minicello holds it up. Tonga, beautiful work. Rooney's over again. Rooney's got a double here on debut. Luke Rooney scores his second try. And the Australians, the Kangaroos, just too good.
It's a carbon copy of their second try. Again, putting pressure on the outside defenders. Now, Vinnie Anderson doesn't play a lot of 5'8", and the Kangaroos are targeting that. Again, he's attracted by the decoy going through, and that created the overlap. By the time Anderson's reacted, the outside men are finding it difficult to come up with the same one. There he is, the number 6. By the time that the defender has gone through, Minicello is on the outside of Anderson. Bunganar's caught out. Tonga, beautiful catch and pass. Melly's come in. Luke Rooney's having a field day on the outside of this.
Well, the difference there was that last time Bunganar went up very, very quickly. This time he hesitated. And then as soon as he went in, after hesitation, Melly thought, well, I didn't follow you in last time. I'll follow you this time. They're both a half a yard too short. Tonga was able to get away to this man, Rooney, and dive over in the corner. Beautiful football. The other part of that is that Lockyer played at 7 and Gower played in 6 at that movement, which shows the confidence that this combination is now forming. The 7 and 6 for Australia.
And Lockyer this time slips. It ends up a rather ordinary kick, a little embarrassing for the Aussie captain. It's given the locals something to cheer about. He acknowledges them.
He gives them away. That won't worry him. But they interchange there. Minicello again out on the edge. Good quick hands, realised they had the overlap. Beautiful hands from Tonga. That's excellent play from a youngster playing in his first game for Australia. He can easily panic in that position. He can easily throw the dummy, but he really got the ball away with good quick hands.
I bet Willie Tonga might be playing his first test for Australia. He's also playing his first season in the top grade. He's gone the whole way and looks as comfortable as.
Webke in the defence from New Zealand, led by Azatazi, as Kennedy and Sivanasiva prepare to come into the match for the first time. Here is Singh. And taken across field there by Williams. 19 away from their own line. And Tonga this time last year, next to his name, was just a tally of 8 first-grade games in 2 seasons with Parramatta. What a year. He was the decoy runner on that previous try.
Of course, we must remember, Vossi, that this time last year, Australia did lead 16-6 or 16-10 before going down 30-16. Got to be careful here that the Kiwis don't hit back smartly.
Cross field and followed all of the way. And the change is now level. Berrigan got in there with a tackle on Azatazi, but Russell Smith has got them offside inside the 10. That does help.
He's a good referee, this bloke. I like him with international football. I think he should be the major referee right throughout this tri-series.
Hold it here, lads. Wait.
And Kidwell has the job of carrying forward, and Kennedy gets in there for his first tackle. Denny Badiris, it's Jason Kalis now to the bench for New Zealand. Here is Williams. In the starting side, he's a regular bench starter for the Bulldogs.
He's only just starting to recover from that early lock, Sonny Bill Williams. He hasn't been 100% for a while as a mistake is forced by the Australian defence. Nathan Hindmarsh picks up 25 from his line.
He's on the back of an error from his Parramatta teammate Nathan Kalis with his first touch, losing possession, and now Sivanasiva. 15 metres inside his own half. Running again here at North Harbour. Kennedy makes 5 and gets it to within 6 of halfway. They steady the ship, the Australians, going a little more conservative in this set. Now Gower with a little dash. Taken to ground there by Louis Anderson. And just inside the Kiwis half. Lockyer looking for a switch of play and then ran into the shoulder of Nathan Kalis. Down low was Joe Nullavow. 40 from the line. Australians up by 10. Kennedy to the right. Nice short pass there for Carroll. He got in a bit of a wrestle with Fatawira and almost came out the other side. Last tackle. Gower with it. Kick for Rooney's wing. Why not? He's got the Midas touch at the moment. Webb with intercept. On the kick, landing. And New Zealand back in possession just outside their 20. Nelly. He's back over the 30. There is Mason. Webb with a bit of protection there from Williams. And that is Williams in possession. Upended by Kennedy. Is out from their line again. Williams was slow to play the ball. And now Kidwell, held up by Tony Carroll. 3 short of halfway. The Australians with an appointment in London next week against the Kiwis. It'll be a return battle.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, Sonny Bill Williams, but he's really struggling out there.
Possible, have a look at that, please, Alan. They catch him eye.
We're going up to the video referee to have a look to see if there's an indiscretion in here at all.
If there's no high tackle here, I think he's going to rule a knock on against Nathan Kalis. They're just seeing as to why he did lose the ball in the tackle. Here he comes in.
The Australians came out of it just saying, can you just go and do that? Can you just check the tackle? Kalis was in, just thinking he'd lost the ball.
Yeah, it'll be a penalty, I would think, against Ben Kennedy, although it did look fairly accidental. No, they've gone to scrum. It was definitely a swinging arm from Ben Kennedy that made high contact.
Just get on with the game, please, and accept it, David, please.
Yeah, that's a poor decision against the Kiwis. It was a high tackle, albeit an accidental one.
Kiwis back 3, stay.
Get on with the game and accept it, David, please.
Wait, Craig, wait, Craig.
They have both a New Zealand and an Australian representative in the video referees box. Mick Stone representing from across the Tasman, and Alan Caddy is the local man. And I think he's the bloke who actually presses the buttons. So he said no high tackle. Sivanasiva rounded up 40 metres away from the New Zealand line. Infield with Hindmarsh, then for Gower. On along with Mason. Almost, he's got past Luluwai. And down in the tackle of Azatazi and Fatawira. The rain heavier now here as they go short side with Kennedy. And trying to spin his way away from Fatawira. 15 from the line. Lockyer Australia perhaps closing in on a fourth try. Gower with a kick sends Tonga on the chase, and Melly is forced to bat it over the dead ball line.
Yeah, it's very clever tactics from the Australians this afternoon. Whether they've adapted late or this was always the game plan, the conditions and the width of the field, the Australians aren't trying to go around the opposition defence. They're achieving that by good interplay on the fringe of the ruck, plenty of decoy runners, a good kicking game, putting a lot of pressure on the opposition defence, and the tries are coming out wide despite the fact they're not trying to beat the men on the outside.
Again, they are delaying the line dropout, New Zealand. Tonga. Just a small gash on the lip. There's the line dropout. Is deep, it's gone past Minicello.
Well, he was looking for Darren Lockyer to catch the football on the full. Darren was having nothing of that.
And Mason was going to be the man to run it back, and he just pulled out of the chase. So the Australians, now Mason gets his turn. Azatazi is there with Luluai, 35 metres from the line on tackle 2. On a wet afternoon here in Auckland, as Badiras makes good ground, almost away from Luluai again. Only had hold of the jumper. Gower, they're set deep to the left. Lockyer sliding, doesn't get to the ball. Hindmarsh with it. And happy to get a touch. He's been a decoy runner a number of times so far. Don't underestimate the role that he has played. Lockyer, 15 away from the line, inside for Singh. And tackled there by Joe Nullavow. 12 away from the line. Kangaroos up by 10, having trailed by 6 early. Kick is beautifully cut away by Webb. He was wrong-footed. And he's made another intercept on a kick. As Kidwell works it away from the 10-metre line. Wiki is back on for New Zealand, the captain. They have the lights on here soon at North Harbour. It is a gloomy early evening as Whanawira makes another 5 and tackled there by Mason. Inside the final 10 of this first half. Azatazi passes short of the line for Wiki. There to make the tackle is Nathan Hindmarsh on the 40. As Joe Nullavow goes to the bench, the 4th change for the Kiwis. Kick is covered up by Minicello. Minicello knowing that he's under pressure to retain his spot at fullback. Matty Bowen in his first appearance in the green and gold last week against Papua New Guinea came up with a hat-trick. He will be on tour with them. Tonga tackled there by Wiki. Now Luke Rooney with 2 tries under his belt. Just short of the 40-metre line. Kalis there in defence.
And as Shane Webke takes it outside his 40, Wayne Bennett now looking for some real strike in the last 10 minutes to half-time with Craig Wing into the action. There he is at dummy half. Ben Kennedy takes it to the halfway line. Badira started to find a little bit of space out of there. Wing is very good at taking advantage around the ruck as well.
He's again passing to the left. Lockyer this time will kick. He's got it over the head of Francis Melly. He's pulled it up nicely. Melly's got it 2 metres out from his own line. Thoughts of passing to Webb. Not the play in these conditions. Certainly not when you're the size of Francis Melly. You take him on. Now Utai, he lost his footing as he got into the tackle there of Wing. Just outside the 20. And you can hear Russell Smith saying he's trying to milk the penalty. And no response from Smith. He's got a good 10 metres at the moment. It's Nathan Kalis. Hasn't had a great impact as yet for the Kiwis. A little untidy too to play the ball. Maneuvering a little bit in this set. Quick play the ball there. In fact, he never got his foot to it. Anderson.
That was a poor effort. As I said, he's smart, this referee. He knows the game.
There's a couple of people trying to milk penalties in that set, I believe.
A couple of players trying to milk penalties, he says. Referee should take a leaf out of his book. You don't keep rewarding the team with the ball. If they don't want to play the game quickly, if they want to muck around, they can't get away with things like this. He's quick onto it, Russell Smith.
Now with Tonga, the Australians with it. 5 metres inside the New Zealand half. It's 16-6. He is hurt, Willie Tonga. Gets to his feet slowly. Still in trouble with a cut as now Sivanasiva. 38 metres away from the line. Kalis there with Anderson, the younger of the Anderson boys there, Lewis. Lockyer, right, a juggle there from Kennedy and then picked up and dumped. Azatazi and Wiki. A while since the Sting returned in the defence. It was there early, the first 5 or 10 minutes. It was line them up and knock them down. 25 metres from the line. Played by Wing for Singh. Here is Lockyer. Then back with Gower under pressure in the tackle of Kidwell. And New Zealand chase hard for the ball, but they don't come up with it. Last tackle. 40 metres away from the New Zealand line. Gower's a little the worse for wear as the kick is to Matt Utai. 5 out from the line. And running at Minicello.
He didn't make the last test side. We see Ben Kennedy driven back in the tackle from Asatasi. Matt Utai didn't make the last test side under Daniel Anderson because of attitude. He's had a great first half as New Zealand get a penalty.
Let me deal with the play of the ball, don't get excited.
In fact, at the back, both Utai and Brent Webb have been very good for the New Zealanders.
That's pleasing for the Kiwis. Their last 4 or 5 minutes has got back to that physical nature we saw early in the game. If they can get a period like that up, where they can actually feel as though they're a part of the physical contest, then they're a chance of coming back and scoring points. If they're chasing the Australians all day, well, it fatigues them very quickly.
So the Kiwis get their chance inside the Kangaroos' half. 35 metres away, played by Kidwell. Now followed up, Sonny Bill Williams moving freely and attracting 3 to the tackle, led by Nathan Hindmarsh. With him was Webke and Sivanasiva. Anderson away for Luluwai. Brings Webb into the play, the fullback. Nice pass along with Asatasi, but equally good the tackle of Berrigan for the Kangaroos. 20 away from the line. Luluwai dumping the pass off inside for Wiki. Wiki's able to slip a pass out the back. Luluwai with a juggle, then knocks it back again. Play on the call from Smith, the referee. But they lose 12 on the play. They're now 32 away from the Kangaroos line. Kidwell for Webb. They work a short side play. Chasing through is Anderson. Minicello gets across and over the sideline. Pressure there on the Kangaroos and the Kiwis get a result.
Great kick there under these conditions. You can see the raining falling down there. This surface very, very slippery. And Webb just places it 2 or 3 metres inside the sideline. Minicello gets to it. He has to play at it. No chance of pulling up. And straight out over the sideline. Repeat set of 6 for the Kiwis. This is just what the doctor ordered for them.
I think the more set plays that New Zealand has come up with, the better that is for the Australian team. They cope with that well. When this side throws the football around, does the unexpected, they are very dangerous.
Williams for Vangana. Thought he had an opening and was taken down by Carroll. Just 3 metres from the line. Anderson, Luluwai, Kennedy rushed up. Luluwai forced back infield. Unloads for Kalis. Kalis is only 5 away. Gets within a metre. And is held up by Webke. They play on a dummy half. They score again. This time it's Lewis Anderson.
Well, we're going to have a look and see if there's any obstruction here by the man playing the football, I believe. But that's the way that New Zealand need to take on the Australians. Come up with the unexpected, the early kick. Sonny Bill Williams, some nice creativity off the base of the scrum, almost putting Vangana in. The more set play they come up with, the easier that is for the Australians to cope with. Now, does the man playing the football take anybody else? Take anybody up? I don't believe so.
Certainly not anyone that was going to stop him. That's a fair try. No doubt about it. The man playing the ball can't suddenly disappear. He's entitled to stand up.
And he has got hands on him in Shane Webke.
Webke doesn't let go of him. Webke wouldn't have stopped that. I don't think they can possibly take it off them. Although I've been wrong with video referees before.
I'll get in line.
Anderson, there's also a little bit of doubt about Kalis even playing the ball correctly in his haste.
Who's upstairs?
Question from Lockyer, who's upstairs? I think that indicates we're going to get a try here.
It's a try. Lockyer had to run up the stairs to change this decision. There's no good talking to the man in the middle. You've got to run up the stairs and talk to the man with the button.
Well, what a double that is for the Anderson boys. First it was Vinny with a try, and now his younger brother Louis has got it. This is the young bloke who found out about his test selection while he was getting a haircut. And his mother ran into the barber to say, you're in the New Zealand test side. He said, are you sure they've got the right Anderson? Mum said they've picked both of you.
Yeah, good work there from the number 9. 2 sets of brothers out there, of course, for the New Zealanders, with the Kalis boys out there. That was the case back in 1998, where the Paul brothers were together with the Kalis brothers. The Australians very disappointed that coming into half-time, they've had their line breached. That will lift the opponents. give them some momentum in the second half, as Brent Webb, after hitting his first one so sweetly, you would think should have little trouble with this one.
Good comeback, New Zealand. At 3 tries to 1 down, they appeared rattled. But they've made it that they are the next to score. And Webb to make it 16-12. And we've got a match. 16 points to 12 here at North Harbour.
And that's what I was talking about. If they can keep it physical, if they can keep it tight, then they can compete. If suddenly the Australians get latitude across the field for their passing rushes with decoy runners and able to use their skill, the Kiwis aren't in the hunt. But that try came on the back of 4 or 5 minutes of really intense physical football, and it suits them.
Lockyer deep on the restart, right to the Kiwis goal line. Ready to run again as Kalis, and he slides into the defence. Almost took the legs of Tony Carroll. And now followed up by Azatazi. He's done well since coming on, as he did all season with the Bulldogs. He's very much a super sub. Wiki on with Webb. Smothered there in the tackle of Nathan Hindmarsh. On their 30, New Zealand. Again, they look sharp. Kidwell, another player who had such a good year with the Melbourne Storm. Very poor play the ball that time. Luluwai kicks from inside the 40. Rooney goes back to help his fullback. Big bounce on it. Minicello back to the dead ball line and over. So they will stroll back to the 20, the Kangaroos. We're told the clock did not stop during the video refereeing decision on the previous try. That's a blunder. And we've been denied some 50 to 60 seconds of this first half. Wetke will play it just outside the 20. Now for Sivanasiva. He's over the 30. Well handled there by Luluwai.
And the New Zealanders on their right-hand defence have actually changed their structure with Nigel Vunganar in jersey 3 going in. Anderson outside, he's Minicello again, finding space.
Minicello, wrong foot's Webb. He's got Melly guessing. Melly's chasing the kick. It stays in the field of play and Melly takes it over the sideline.
Well, that is superb from Anthony Minicello. Stepping in and out of defenders, and to keep this kick in the field of play, it is great skill. Minicello, as we hear the halftime siren sound, getting outside defenders. That is such a difficult kick. And if they'd have had more time, he would have kept the pressure on.
We will break in the first Tri Nations series game. Ken Sutcliffe and the Johns boys, Andrew and Matthew, to look at the first half. After this break on the Wide World of Sports, it's 16 to 12. And we're underway for the second half. Lockyer gets us going into this passage of play and fielded there by Luluwai. And this is Kalis who comes back to the 20-metre line. Bench players, all bar Modu Tony getting a run, and Andrew Ryan in the first half. And 30 metres out from their line, it is played by Matt Utai. For Anderson, and on with Kidwell. Not only now are the lights being switched on. We'll need Miners hats out there in a moment. Azatazi playing it there for Anderson, and on for Wiki. Running at wing. Hindmarsh there with Webke. Just outside the 40. Anderson with Luluwai kicking. It's been charged down by Gower and fielded there by Webb. Gower's on the chase. Webb's got away from the number 7. Links up now with Fatawira. And with the tackle count restarting, the Kiwis in possession on their 30. Kidwell, always determined with every run. Sivanasiva penalised. That's Molutoni. Warms up after half-time.
That was a shame for Petro Sivanasiva because initially it was a great tackle. Realised a bit of space there for the ball runner. Came across, but the Kiwis have failed to find touch. Minicello takes it back outside his 30, looking to link up, and does with Hindmarsh.
Big chance to run. It's Hindmarsh at full steam. Taken there by Webb. 5 metres inside the New Zealand half. Hindmarsh was really wound up. Tonga now. Lunged around in the Vunganar tackle. 38 metres from the line. Wing to dummy half. Webke ready with this run almost to the 30 and then pushed back by Sonny Bill Williams. Now wing. They will try a little blindside shot here. Gower's pass was knocked down. Gower's come up with it. Smith says play on. 25 metres out. Tackle number 4. Sivanasiva. Broncos player of the year. Taken beautifully low there by Williams. Last tackle. Look for Lockyer. He's with it, the number 6. Here's the kick. He's got Luluwai turned around and Luluwai goes back for it. Again, execution perfect from the Aussie captain. And a line drop out for New Zealand.
The quality of the kicking has been tremendous from both teams this afternoon. These are very difficult conditions. But the kicks into the in-goal have been spot on from both teams. Another example there from Darren Lockyer, who has taken on the major responsibility, along with Craig Gower, on the final play close to the opponent's line.
So line drop out with Webb. And this kick is not very deep either. Taken by Lockyer, Webb kick. Carries it back inside the 30. Wiki there with Kidwell, but that's tackle one. 23 from the line. Wing along for Sivanasiva. He gets them inside the 20. The Kiwis defence under pressure early in their second half. Wing left with Gower. Cuts out Kennedy. Finds Lockyer. Then brings Minicello into the play. He's lost the ball and trying to pass. Anderson comes back with it. And New Zealand, they passed that test, defending their line. Bringing it away from their 20. And our thanks to Sky New Zealand today for the pictures of this first Tri Nations game. And then Sonny Bill Williams pounced away, then got away from Hindmarsh, and now cleaned up by Webke. And Sivanasiva is appealing for a penalty with a dive forward. And this time Kidwell. Cut out of the play there by Carroll. They're 15 inside their own half. Could play the ball with Louis Anderson. And a grab there with Hindmarsh. Crowd really letting referee Smith know they're not too happy with the Aussies. Kick deep. Singh will be forced back, 5 out from his own line. Again, he slides. And now links up with Minicello. Webb's the man trying to make the tackle. Pushes away from Webb. Now gets around Kalis. And he will play 15 out.
I went out into the crowd at half-time amongst all the people out there. The general consensus in the crowd is that the Kiwis will win this. If the crowd feels that way, and their voice is telling us that, they might be able to lift these fellas.
Kennedy. And almost back to the 30. Wiki was there with David Kidwell. He's been very impressive again, as he was in that test match back in April, David Kidwell. Good tackle there on Webke. It came low from Nathan Kalis. Matching the battle, the forwards, early in their second half. Good kick here. Webb's got work to do. 5 out from his own line, close to that touchline. He's all on his own at the back, and now will be driven by the defence of Singh and Berrigan. So now from the line, Jason Kalis has had the call up. He'll be on shortly. Millie, Kiwi players, Wiki and Kidwell still to get back on side. Utai with a gallop at a dummy half, straight into Shane Webke. Kennedy there. The third man was Craig Wing. 21 metres from their own line. They trail by 4 with Louis Anderson and not too many teammates with their hand up to run. It's been a set of 6 in slow motion from New Zealand. Kalis. That time with a wing tackle. And it is the 5th. A chance to kick from inside the 40, and it's Lulawai who does that, but straight down the centre and fielded by Minicello. 20 metres to run before he reaches that defensive line. And one-on-one, that's a terrific tackle from Azatazi. Nassi. Infield with Berrigan. Limited opportunities so far today. It was a nice front-on tackle there from Anderson. This is Rooney, 2 tries in the first half. In his test debut. A day he will remember. Wing for Kennedy, 35 away. Getting to a simple wet weather game plan in this set. He lost it in playing it, and then Wing makes a mess of it. Not helped by the play the ball, though.
All Australians looking to get a quick play the ball going. Sometimes you're losing a little bit of technique there. It was very difficult for Craig Wing to pick that one up. The man playing the football made it extremely difficult. And let me tell you, the picture you're seeing there is much brighter than one we see, despite the lights coming on just after half-time.
So New Zealand start this set inside their 30. Fadawira playing it for Utai out of dummy half. Got away from 2. It takes 3 to get him down, and still he wants to wrestle. Matt Utai. And this time it's Wiki. Going on the recent try-scoring form of Matt Utai, it would be odd to get through a game without a 4-pointer from the Bulldogs winger. He really did finish the year with a rush, including a double in the grand final. Here's Vinnie Anderson, held up there by Gower and Hindmarsh. 42 metres from the Aussie line as Pillar 2 is ready to come back on. Webb kicks. They've had a deflection off Lockyer. Singh goes back to the 10-metre line. Covers up the ball. Chase through there. Got past Fatawira. And then was hit hard and has lost it. Play on New Zealand. Webb with it. 10 metres out from the line. He will play it. Zero tackle. And Berrigan is penalised. But then they were under desperate pressure. Kiwis called for the sin bin. Play on. Pulatua. 10 out with a fend. Doesn't offload. Webke there to cover up with Craig Wing right in front of the Kangaroo posts. Kidwell up for Sonny Bill Williams. Almost through the Kennedy tackle. He gets within 30 centimetres of the line. Forced to play it at a dummy half. They go again. It's Kidwell this time. His face says try.
Time off, please.
Russell Smith will check it with a video referee. But Kidwell had the face of a bloke in one lotto.
And from that very quick shot that we saw, it did appear as though the point of the football was on the ground. That would be the second try from dummy half close to the line if awarded for New Zealand. Throws the dummy. David Kidwell getting across. Or maybe not. There does appear to be an Australian hand there. Very tough decision, this one, Gus.
Yeah, I think the look on his face was more a sales pitch here. The ball is off the ground. His own arm is underneath the ball. So too is Craig Gowers. I don't think it's touched the surface. Hindmarsh keeps one underneath as well. It's a sales pitch. I'll pretend I put it down and hope the referee gives it to me. Don't go upstairs, whatever you do. Too smart, Russell Clark. We're going upstairs to have a look, Russell Smith. Russell Clark, what's he, a chef?
Good to have you with us, Gus. Good to have you with us, mate.
And if this is no try, which it does appear as though, it will be a play the ball 10 metres out. This is definitely a no try. It's a held up. Off we go. Play the football. They come to the left through Lulawai.
15 out, and then finds Webb. Now on for Pulatua, running straight at Lockyer. Almost straight through the tackle. 5 out. He's pushed to ground. The dummy half, Fatawira. On with Lulawai. He'll run out of options here. He held on to the ball. A good option, though, was Sonny Bill. He's held up 11 from the line by Gower. Quick play the ball. It comes back.
Last tackle.
Tazi on the last. Webb 10 metres out. He gets a kick in. It's not that bad. Sings with it. Chase through. Line drop out this time to the Kangaroos.
Great play by Matt Utai. Great play. They were at 6s and 7s there, the Kiwis. They were getting excited. The crowd was getting excited. Webb on the last puts the ball towards the in goal. There's no defender around. Singh stumbles, and Matt Utai comes up with a great play. Not only tackles him, but lifts him up, forces him back to the in goal, gets the ball back for his team.
He also came up with a big tackle earlier, which forced the mistake from the Australians. And Sean Derrigan made a try save on Tony Pulatua. Is that knocked on by the halfback? Yes, it is.
Momentum there, totally lost. Lulawai doesn't like it. I think he's going to say it came off his chest. Or if anything, he knocked it back.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. They're on the roll. They're a momentum team. They love the momentum. Here it is. Well, he had his hands down to play it. It got a bad bounce, come up and hit him under the chin. Could have gone either way, but the fact that he had his hands there ready for the ball, I think means you're playing at the ball.
Exactly. He played at that football and knocked on. If he'd have sat back and let it come off the chest without getting his hands involved, not a drama. Tongan really getting through.
So the Australians have the ball, 5 metres inside their own half. Rooney. But there's no breathing space here. The lead is only 4 points. Kalis has been told to sit down again. He was ready to come back on. He was the most impressive prop out there early. Good offload there by Webke. Found Wing. He was hit over the top there by Vangana. Plays it 41 metres away from the line. Lyles pulled out of that one. Australians still have possession. There's a bit of pressure on Mason. He's got away from Fatawira. Good pass for Berrigan, then Singh. Now for Minicello. He bounced off Anderson. Was wrapped up by Nathan Kalis. 25 metres from the line. Craig Gower now. Inside pass finds the lock forward. Carroll. Carroll is strong. He's tackled 5 metres out. Last tackle this time with the Kangaroos. Gower, Lockyer, quick hands. He'll chase the ball over the sideline. Great defensive pressure applied by the Kiwis on their own goal line.
This is really warming up into a great test match. Did appear as though the Australians might have run away with it midway through the first half after enduring that early onslaught. as Andrew pointed out, and Phil, this crowd could play a role in the last 20 minutes. They are finding voice.
It's a Kiwi chant up here now at North Harbour. And now Kalis is back out there. And Wetke working hard with Riles and Mason in the tackle. 25 metres from their own line. Kiwis trailing by 4. Here is Pulatua. Lockyer and Carroll that time. Everywhere that Lockyer has had to attempt to tackle, Carroll's there with him. Now Lulawai kicks and covered up there by Minicella.
That's the thing I worry about the Kiwis. When they're coming out of trouble with the football, it looks as though they're trying to conserve energy. Only one person moving at a time. Not enough pressure on the Australian defence. Although here's some pressure.
Over the sideline goes Minicello. The tackle was allowed to continue. It's always a tough one because Minicello fights and fights and fights. So it's just play on in defence.
Well, this happened at a crucial time in the grand final. The Roosters against the Bulldogs. He was lifted up and thrown back into his in goal, and you can see there the Kiwis do a great job. They keep the ball, they keep the player off the ground, keep him moving. Nothing wrong with that. Gordon Tallis grabbed Brett Hodgson 30 metres in an Origin game to get him over the sideline. Minicello's got to learn to get down there.
Tony again warming up. Could be a big player in this game off the bench. Back from time with Castleford.
You would imagine that he would slot into the dummy half role, Motto Tony. There's Vunganar. There's a little bit of space on the right side.
35 metres from the line. And it is Jason Kalis with his trademark footwork. Never runs just the perfect straight line. Makes a bit of work for the defence. Tony's now on and he has gone to dummy half. Lulawai there, holding a very short pass for Azatazi. 21 metres away from the Kangaroos line. Again with Tony, who started the year with the Broncos. Sonny Bill Williams there with Webb. Met front on by Lockyer. 15 metres out from the line. And again it is Carroll to assist his captain. Lulawai with a kick. He's not going to find the in-goal this time. Minicello with it. And Minicello is tackled by Tony. 11 metres out from the line. No points in this second half. We've had 13 and a half minutes. And still it is 16 points to 12. And it will be Rooney who plays it. And it settles down again for Riles. He was hit that time by Vunganar. Well, he went up at half speed. And he copped the treatment from New Zealand. And now it's the Australians' turn to make heavy weather of coming out of trouble. Rooney down the short side. Vunganar's taken the angry pills. He goes in the tackle again. Thinks he's a 120-kilogram front rower. They've rattled the Australians. Lockyer's back for it. 10 out from his line. He's tackled.
That's the
15
last.
out. Change over. Massive play by New Zealand. So Pulatua will play it. 15 out. Here is Lulawai. Now there's Webb. And he's outside as Fatawira close to the sideline. Play the ball with Fatawira. Infield with Azatazi. No dramas, test football for Roy Azatazi. He's right at home. He's up to this level. Motu Tony. Lulawai. 11 out. Good ball. Williams. 8 metres away from the line. As the rain at its heaviest right now. Thomas Lulawai. He only played 9 games of first grade this year. Here he is, the number 7 in test football. Another dummy half run. This time. Will it be this time for the Kiwis? Francis Melly. It's up to the video referee again.
Well, they are very confident this time. In fact, they were telling the touch judge to get involved and make the decision. Francis Melly, both the wingers have been very good in bringing the ball out from their own line. And he takes the ball down the short side, drives in low. I think that will be a try. We don't see the football go down, but I think from the evidence that we've been provided with there, it does go down. That should be a 4-pointer.
No trouble there. The Australians caught napping. This is the 3rd time from close range these big Kiwi fellas have just thrown themselves at the try line. They've obviously talked about it during the week. The more you pass the ball, the more you help the Australian defence. If you get close enough, have a shot. Anderson got in for the first try of the game for the Kiwis. Kedwell was close, and now Melly, I don't think there's any doubt here. Straight through Tonga and Craig Wing, 2 small men on a big man. That ball's down, no problem.
Well, you put the one shot together with the other shot from both angles, and it has to be a try. You see the ball touch the ground from behind the play of the ball, and up goes the green light. We're locked up at 16-all with a kick to come.
Told you about the crowd. I walked down amongst this crowd at half-time, and they were just saying, we're going to win this. They were so confident at 16-12. They thought they'd seen the best of the Australians, and it's their voice that's lifting this Kiwi side. They're convinced. They're convincing the players. The players are starting to rise to the occasion. There's Melly walking back. He'd be happy with it. It's just a tough, burrowing effort on a couple of smaller men. That's what I talked about, the size factor early in the game. The physical nature, the size of these Kiwi backs up against their smaller opponents who have greater skill and speed.
That also comes on the back of, again, some brilliant defence led by Nigel Vunganar in a couple of tackles, which forced Australia backwards. In fact, the pass from dummy half on the last tackle didn't find anybody, ended up in the hands of Darren Lockyer, and he was grasped close to his line. So that try really did come from, again, the defensive effort from the Kiwis as Brent Webb looks at the assignment.
Gave you the stat in the first half. Just 3 shots this year for the Warriors. He landed just 1 goal. He's got a 60% career success rate. And that's the kick of a 60% success rate. It was well wide of the posts. So 16-all. A long way from full time. There's no golden point in the Tri Nations.
Well, I can tell you at this point, at this same point in the Test match this time last year, the score got to 16-all, and the Kiwis got there with momentum and went on to win comfortably. Again, we arrive at 16-all, and it's the home team with the wind in their sails. Difficult conditions now for the Australians. This will be a monumental win if they can get out of it.
Kiwis, they're on the charge now, and Mason there to stop the run of his Bulldog mate, Roy Azatazi. 19 metres out from the line. Australian viewers tonight on Channel 9. Good double coming up for you. Aussie movie double from 7:30. Crocodile Dundee, the original and the best. And following that, Mel Gibson stars in Lethal Weapon 2. 2 greats from 7:30 tonight. Sonny Bill Williams offloads there for Anderson.
Yeah, talk about your lethal weapon. That was Sonny Bill taking it up, and it's Modu Tony. He's offside, Willie Mason. Clever play.
That's what I like about this referee. He rewards the team with the momentum. He doesn't always go with the defence. He doesn't always go with the attack. He gets a feel for the game, and he knows the Kiwis are on top here just in this little passage, and he's giving them the leeway.
New Zealand with Jason Kalis. Tackle number 1. 25 metres out from the line. Modu Tony. First receiver is Azatazi. He runs and then is upended in the tackle of Hindmarsh and Banderas.
They get through to the last tackle. I'd like to see the Kiwis kick high, maybe to Melly's wing. Put him in a contest.
Webb inside, Pulatua. Got away there from Andrew Ryan, who's out there now for the Kangaroos. So all the interchange players have now had some football this afternoon. Lulawai with a little skip. It's a confident skip of the halfback with a short pass. And it was Wing who was called in to make the tackle on Kidwell. Lulawai again. He's calling the shots. What a pass, Sonny Bill. Put down by Vunganar. All he had to do was catch it and score.
What a talent this kid is. What a talent. What a future he has. Let's hope he stays injury-free and enjoys a stellar career, because we're going to be so entertained. Look at that. Beautiful flick pass to Vunganar. Had the line in his sights. Now we can see out here a moment for the Australians. Banderas is out there. Wing's still out there. Andrew Ryan's gone out there, but he's playing on the right-hand side of the field, which he's not used to. Mason's playing on the left, where he doesn't play for his club. We're at 6s and 7s a little bit at the Australians.
And Sean Berrigan juggling the football at first receiver from the scrum wing.
Ryan called the play just short of the 20. This test very much alive as Wing. Back to the 30-metre line for the Kangaroos. Now sit at dummy half. This is Jason Riles. Had an unhappy start to the game. Left side, Kidwell in defence. Pensive on the bench. They're pensive everywhere. Kick downfield from Lockyer. On the full to Webb. Webb motion that he wanted to link up with Fatawira. He's done that. Fatawira outside the 30. And taken in defence by Andrew Ryan, 32 from their own line. Infield they come. Williams is ready to go again. And he's to the 40. This is a 19-year-old in Test football after just 15 first-grade games. 5 metres inside their own half. Moduto for Kalis. Jason Kalis had the arms free. He was held desperately there by Wing. Tony again. 40 out from the line. Quick hands from Kidwell. And Anderson taking the ground in the Gower tackle. Last tackle for New Zealand. 32 metres from the line. 16-all scoreline. Lulawai's kick is high. It'll come down for Minicello. And that's another great take by the number 1 for the Kangaroos. And he's wrapped up half a metre in the field of play. The job with Rooney. Bounces away from the shoulder of Kidwell.
What's the knee, David? To drop down with the leg.
And he's penalised Kidwell for a knee in the tackle. He ran through from 25 metres to put the shoulder on Rooney.
Yeah, a little bit of over-enthusiasm there from Kidwell. He tried to get up and knock Rooney into the end goal to force another line dropout. Then came again with a second effort in the tackle. But I'm just trying to work out the structure here in the Australian side. Badiris, Wing, Lockyer, Gower, they're all out there at the same time.
Lyles offloads on the bounce. Badiris, Gower on with Willie Mason. And Mason taken to ground by Kalis. That is Jason with Tony Pulatua. Slow to play the ball, 15 inside their own half. Andrew Ryan, he's cut down there by Azatazi.
You love it when a test match comes down to a test of character, and that's what it is for both of these teams now. So who's willing to put the hand up and get the job done? Badiris out of dummy half. Short ball to Wing.
And Wing is tackled 40 away from the line. Azatazi got there in defence that time. Here's Lockyer. He puts the kick. Chasing through is Berrigan. Ball goes over the sideline. Very much spur of the moment play.
It's not all about just putting your hand up either. It's about keeping your nerve. Representing your country. A lot of pressure on both teams. Such expectation in this crowd for a home victory. And of course, as Wayne Bennett pointed out during the week leading into this preparation, the Australians, they go into favourite in most test matches. And that's not that easy to live with.
New Zealand in possession, outside their 10, Nullavow. In stride, taken to ground by Riles on their 20. Tony, infield they come, Kidwell. Said it earlier, he's been very good for them. And there's another offload for Vangana. He's been as good as any forward, David Kidwell. And almost rewarded with a try after half-time. He's taken another run now. Over the 40 he goes. Into the Hindmarsh tackle. Only a dummy half. 5 inside their own half. Jason Kalis. There's that little stutter. This time held up and driven back. He was able to offload for Azatazi. Play on. He's lost the ball, Azatazi. It'll be play on for the Kangaroos if they can come up with it. To knock on both ways. This will be a Kangaroo scrum feed.
Well, the Kiwis are going to live by this or die by it. They're starting to force the ball in tackles. They're being a lot more adventurous than the Australians, but it can also be their undoing. If they turn the ball over in field position like this, then the likes of Lockyer, Gower and Badiris can conjure up something to snatch a win. Australia's got more field goal kickers out there. Gower, Lockyer, these fellas can pot them over.
Minicello on a weaving run, held there by Nullavow. Crowd, we're told, just over 19,000, 19,118. They got here late. And judged the conditions. It was terrible for the 45 minutes before kickoff. It hasn't been much better during the game. There's Hindmarsh held up by Jason Kalis. 35 metres from the line, Gower. Mason to ground, 30 away this time. It's a dominant tackle from Tony over the top. Low was Nullavow. Here's Gower to the left. Puts his head down and runs. And he too is held up, and that's the last tackle. Wiki was the defender for New Zealand. Here is Lockyer, places that kick back for Craig Wing. Wing with a dive, doesn't get to the ball. New Zealand with it with Tony. But it is a line dropout.
Well, I'm sure when the Kiwis decided that they'd have a 6-metre in goal here today, they were hoping that they wouldn't have the number of restarts and that it would be too difficult for the kickers to find the in goal. That's the 5th time now Darren Lockyer has forced a line dropout with a great kick. They really had to scramble there, the Kiwis, to secure it. Wing was chasing through on the inside. There's Lockyer scheming. What's he got for us in this set of 6? Couple to the middle, give it to me on the left, get me back to the post, get me a field goal. All sorts of things going through his mind.
Line dropout, skews off the boot. Mason's got it on the bounce. Starts his run, 35 out. Just crashes his way into Pulatua.
This is the test of nerve for New Zealand that I was talking about.
Dummy half, Badiris with Andrew Ryan. He's just playing the role of a front rower basically since he's come on. With Gower, they're set left, no one finds it. Good pick up, Minicello. Slippery conditions, low down on tackle 2. 19 from the line. The Australians build again with Tonga for a little run, but held up there by Anderson. They are 8 metres away from the line. Lockyer with it, nice ball for Mason. Bumps forward, now loses it. They've held firm again, the Kiwis.
Well, the set of 6 went just the way we called it. A couple up, out to Lockyer on the left. The pass was misdirected. Minicello picked it up. So Lockyer came back to the right to find Mason. Put him into a half gap, and that's usually enough for the big fella from close range. But he just couldn't hold on to the ball. Some desperate defence. Tried to pick it up there to get it back inside to Lockyer. Lost his handle on the greasy ball, and a let off for the Kiwis. They've got to be a little bit more adventurous coming out of trouble. They're easy targets at the moment.
Fatawira with a job of carrying one up out of the scrum. Nathan Kalis ready to come back on. And now it is with Joe Nullavow. Nullavow rounded up inside the 20. And the last push there by Wing. Melly from dummy half, the try scorer who got them back level with Wiki the captain. And it's hard work here, and they're on their 20. Brought forward this time by Nathan Kalis through a high tackle of Willie Mason.
The referee said the shoulder. This is where the wingers needed to get involved for the Kiwis again. Melly and Utai have been so good at this end of the field. Last tackle now, they're kicking from their own 30 as Thomas Nulawai finds Minicello on the full.
Kick was from inside the 40, and now Minicello back over the Kangaroos 30. Bounces away from Kalis.
Let's see, it was a negative set of 6. The Australians arrested. You would have to think by tackle 2, they're in a position to put something on here. They weren't under pressure in defence.
Rooney took one hit up. Singh had the opportunity to do the same. He's found Riles. Get something going back to halfway. Nullavow with Vangana there in defence. Badiris, little show to the left, then runs open side and taken low by Wiki, 40 metres out from the line. 16 all. 12 and a half minutes remaining in the Tri Nations opener as Wing is taken low by Wiki. Last tackle for the Aussies. Gower looks at the posts, takes a shot, and it's off the side of the boot. Gower. So there is take 1 on what could be a number of field goal attempts.
Well, the crowd love it, and I don't think New Zealand will mind that the opposition are forced to try and take 1 point. That's a wrap for their defence.
Well, it's 15 minutes to go, Peter. I mean, do you think 1 point will win it? Will 17-16 win this game? It's a long way out to be thinking that way.
Now Wiki on tackle 1. They start this set 25 metres from their line. They've had a bit of time to energise with a delay in the restart. And with Melly, he's on the 30. The Australian defence aim up again, but not a great deal of adventure here as Nullavow is taken to ground there by Mason. And Hindmarsh, who a tireless worker as always today. High in the tackle count today, Nathan Hindmarsh. Asatazi's lost it. Australia have got the ball 5 metres inside the New Zealand half. 0 tackle, so this is 1 for Berrigan.
They're turning the screws, Australia. The last 3 sets of 6, the Kiwis haven't got out of their own half. They're just turning the screws, building the pressure.
Craig Wing. Wingers to ground, 22 away. Well, they've got themselves in field goal position again. And they've got 4 tackles up their sleeve. Badiris down the short side for Berrigan. Close to the touchline, Fatawira the tackle.
Yeah, I think in goal they need to go last tackle. Keep this pressure going, Lockyer.
Up to the line he goes, inside pass finds Ryan. Ryan has pulled down just 3 metres out. One of the Australians has been left behind, it may be Gower. No, it's not Gower.
Craig Wing.
Lockyer, Wing is on his back. Gower passes wide. Minicello puts the dance on Vangana and is taken to the sideline. But yes, he is over. It'll be a scrum feed to the Kiwis.
How good is this? This is Test match football. Craig Wing trying to get some air into his lungs. He was taken out late on an inside pass. Here's Minicello, finds himself into space. A zip, a zag, a shimmy towards the sideline. They bundle him into touch. It's a test match. It's a real test match. It's wet, it's slippery, it's cold, it's windy. They're big, they're strong. It's a beauty.
And like the grand final at the NRL this year, I don't think that New Zealand could win without Sonny Bill Williams on the paddock at the end of this game. He's about to come into the match. Tony Puletua, another strike player out there. They've just got that little bit of flair that can be the difference between winning and losing.
Tony almost lost the ball at dummy half. With his hard work coming out of your own 20 here at North Harbour Stadium, where it has been for the Kiwis. Now they're back over the 30. Kennedy stalks the sideline. Williams looked to play. Penalty New Zealand.
Kept hold of the man after the tackle. You've got to release the player.
Big call.
He's 19 years of age, this kid. He's 19 years of age. He's taking on the best footballers in the world, and he just lines them up. Look at the look in his eyes. Here I come. Bang, that's Riles and Hindmarsh. Straight into him, no fear. Follow me. And he earns his team a penalty, just what they needed coming out of trouble.
Into the last 9, New Zealand only one interchange left. Puletua, they're playing all their cards. And Mason there with Badiris and Ryan, 40 metres out. New Zealand, you would think, will have the next field goal shot. Will the hero be Lulawai? Will it be Webb? Just around they go, it may be Tony. Dummy half is Tony. Here is Lulawai, and along with Wiki. Quick hands, nice play. And Sonny Bill has held up that time, 21 metres from the line. They come to the short side. Tony changes direction. Tackled 5 metres out. Kiwis, what a chance at 16 all. 8 metres from the line. Wiki has lost it in passing. And Lockyer comes up with a football.
Good rush by the Australians. They backed themselves there. They really sprinted off the line quickly, forced the error. Now they're the ones that are going to work it out of trouble.
Yeah, it was Danny Badiris and Nathan Hindmarsh. Got up quickly. That's Willie Tonga looking to come in and take some pressure off the forwards.
30 metres out from their line. 8 minutes remaining. The Singh looks to weave. The zig and zag, as Gus would say. And tackled 15 metres inside his own half. Here's Badiris to the right. Lockyer on with Carroll. Carroll almost to halfway. Puletua rides him into the ground. Very good dummy half. Now Lockyer on the last. His kick. We'll test out Melly. Melly almost bobbled out of the hands. He's with it. And up there was Tonga with a big tackle. Just about the best shot of the match. And the Australians have produced it. You talk about young blokes in their first test. Well, Tonga has just taken on this human cannonball Melly and nailed him.
Did it himself. Give his teammates a wink too. Melly picked out the smallest bloke he could find, ran straight into him, and came off second best. The Australians with a great chance now.
28 metres from the line. 7 remaining here at North Harbour.
Hold it down.
The Australians have not scored since midway through the first half when they led 16-6. Berrigan taken to the sideline by Utai and thrown over. It's garbage night here at North Harbour. And Utai is taken out the track.
What a game from Matt Utai. Defending inside, keeping the momentum in the tackle. He has been superb in this performance for New Zealand.
And I say that with the greatest of respect to Sean Berrigan. But Utai gave him the full treatment. Now Lulawai from the scrum. And with the ball is Fatawira. Good defence there, Minicello.
No golden point today, Bossy. If it's a draw, it's a draw.
Draw is fine in the Tri Nations. Sonny Bill Williams. He's away, the 19-year-old. Away from Minicello. And tackled from behind by Rooney.
What a player.
32 metres from the line. Funganar takes it to centre field as if they're set for the one-pointer in this set of 6. Anderson. They come left. Webb fielded there on the wraparound. Kalis was stumbling. Now with Wiki, the captain. And held up by Riles and Badiris. 29 metres from the line. Anderson back to centre field. They come with Nathan Kalis. Now 22 metres out. Last tackle. Leps in position. Here comes the kick. Lulawai off the boot. Lulawai is to the side of the posts. unsuccessful. Gower missed with his shot. Lulawai, the Kiwis halfback, does save, and it's still 16 all.
But at least he put his jersey in the line. At least he said, throw me the ball. I'll have a shot to win it for us. He's only 19 too, Lulawai.
It's not a day for the faint-hearted Gus. The Australians in possession, 40 metres out from their own.
Don't even talk about it.
Look after him.
Seeing a dummy half. And he will run for 5 infield. Run straight into Pulatua. And he will play it now 3 short of halfway. Inside the final 5. Lockyer to the left. Gower holds it up. Ryan's now out there on the left. And that time he was tackled by Nigel Vungana. They're 42 metres away. Kennedy, now they get themselves in the zone. It's an old-fashioned shootout.
Darren Lockyer.
He's going to kick from long range, Peter. Pressure on him. Kick is off the side again. And Webb fields it on his own goal line. They come back, the Kiwis. 10 metres out from their line.
Oh, I'm having a good time with this. This is great stuff.
There's going to be more of it for the next 6 weeks on Channel 9 in the Tri Nations. As Utai is tackled 15 metres out from his own line. And a dummy half goes Fatawira. He too is only playing his 2nd test match here.
And you'd have to assume these will be the conditions all the way through England. In the England leg of the tour for all 3 teams, Great Britain, Australia and New Zealand, these will be the conditions. Cold, wet, slippery.
And with Wiki, he throws a flat pass, they've lost it. Nullavow has lost it in the tackle. This is 38 metres out. Kangaroos to have the scrum feed. There is just under 4 minutes remaining.
Wonderful tackle there from Craig Gower. There's been some really telling tackles made one-on-one. Tonga only moments ago, that one from Gower. Nathan Hindmarsh has been superb for the green and goals this afternoon as Willie Tonga tries to beat the man on the outside in Vinnie Anderson. Can't do so.
30 metres from the line.
They'll get in good field goal position early in this tackle count. Will Lockyer go to take one on the 3rd or the 4th?
They've tried Gower, they have tried Lockyer. They come in field. Webb kick. It won't be Shane with a shot. He's 20 metres out. 16 all. 3 minutes remaining here at North Harbour. Hindmarsh.
Now's the shot from Gower if they're going to take one.
20 out from the line. The kick will come. Gower. Plenty of time. Gets the kick. The kick from Gower. It's wide from right in front. From right in front of the posts. He is wide and the crowd goes up.
They couldn't have handled it any better. They got him in perfect position. They gave him plenty of time. Off the side of the boot. I think it was Lulawai that got out. No good leaning that way, mate. Mason on the sideline. Plenty of emotion here this afternoon. Now the Kiwis, can they go 80 minutes in a set of 80 metres in a set of 6?
Only one draw in the history of the many years of battles between the Aussies and the Kiwis. Now they run with Anderson. He's back to the 40. Kennedy makes the tackle. They are 10 inside their own half. There is just over 2 remaining. This is Pulatua. He straightens up, runs into Nathan Hindmarsh and Webke. There also is Carroll. They're 5 metres inside their own half. Louis Anderson to the right. Lulawai. Defence comes up quickly. Finds Williams. Inside pass and fielded by Nullavow. They get inside Australian territory, but it's a last tackle.
No, don't go for field goal. You just play for field position.
Lulawai went for a field goal from 55 metres out. Here's Minicello. He gets away from one. Nothing unusual about that. He beats another. And he's tackled 15 metres inside his own half.
Well, Thomas was 1,000 to 1 to put that one over. He had to look for open space down on the opponent's goal line, then try and force the mistake. He's given Australia an opportunity here for mine.
39 from their own line. Webke. He'll make another 5. He got through Webb. There's no fullback then at home. Webb's up in the line. Millie's the only player who's got back for the Kiwis. They come left. Now Lockyer straightens up. Goes straight through the centre. Forward pass to Berrigan. And Smith has got it. Referee Smith right in line. It was forward by 2 or 3 metres. But it was almost shades of the 3rd Ashes test last year on the Kangaroo Tour.
And it was almost shades of the first game of the season in the NRL competition. Lockyer put Berrigan up the middle of the field to score the winning try. There was Berrigan, his Bronco teammate. They'd have been in terrific position had the pass been good for a field goal.
And New Zealand have only just realised that they had to get the scrum set to stop the clock. We're under 40 seconds now.
As Anderson is driven back by the Kangaroos. They push him back some 15 metres. 22 metres from their own line. Final 30 seconds. Webb with it. It's tackled on the 30. Is there one last magic play there? Ricky. It's been an outstanding test match. Gower is there with Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh's tackle count just about up to 40. 39 metres out from their own line. They come to the left. One last dash. Williams has lost the ball. Berrigan with it. Final seconds of the game. He is tackled. Siren will sound.
Lockyer, one shot.
35 minutes from the line. Siren has
it's all
it.
over.
He says full time. The kick from Lockyer will not count. And it's wide in any case. And what an 80 minutes of football. 16 all in the opening of the Tri Nations series. Australia and New Zealand. We will break here from North Harbour Stadium. Thanks for your company this afternoon. Kenny Sutcliffe, Matthew and Andrew Johns to pick up the action after the break.